In the heart of rural Pennsylvania lies a small town named Willow Creek, surrounded by dense forests that stretch as far as the eye can see. Among these woods, there is a place locals whisper about, a place where the trees seem to lean in close, their branches twisting like gnarled fingers reaching for unwary travelers. They call it the Whispering Woods. Legend has it that the Whispering Woods are haunted by the spirits of those who lost their lives in the woods, victims of accidents, disappearances, and unspeakable horrors. Many stories have been told of eerie sightings, inexplicable sounds, and a feeling of dread that hangs heavy in the air. It was in the crisp October air that the events of this tale unfolded. Emily Parker, a young journalist eager to make a name for herself, arrived in Willow Creek with the intention of investigating the legends surrounding the Whispering Woods. Armed with her notepad, camera, and a sense of adventure, she set out to uncover the truth behind the chilling stories. Her first stop was the local library, where she pored over old newspaper clippings, journals, and folklore passed down through generations. The librarian, an elderly woman with a knowing glint in her eye, warned Emily of the dangers that lurked in the woods. Many have ventured into the Whispering Woods, but few have returned, the librarian said, her voice hushed as if afraid to awaken some unseen presence. Be cautious, young lady, for there are forces at work beyond our understanding. Undeterred by the warnings, Emily pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets of the Whispering Woods. She sought out the townsfolk, hoping to hear their first-hand accounts of the supernatural phenomena that plagued the area. However, she was met with silence and apprehension, as if the mere mention of the woods sent shivers down their spines. Refusing to be discouraged, Emily decided to venture into the heart of the Whispering Woods herself. Armed with her camera and a sense of trepidation, she set off into the dense foliage, the leaves crunching beneath her feet as she ventured deeper into the unknown. As she delved deeper into the woods, the air grew colder, and the trees seemed to close in around her, their twisted branches casting eerie shadows in the fading light. Strange whispers seemed to echo through the trees, unintelligible voices that sent a chill down Emily's spine. She pressed on, determined to uncover the truth, until she stumbled upon a clearing bathed in moonlight. In the center of the clearing stood an ancient oak tree, its branches reaching towards the sky like skeletal fingers grasping for the stars. At the base of the tree lay a weathered gravestone, its inscription barely visible in the dim light. Approaching cautiously, Emily brushed away the dirt and debris to reveal the name etched into the stone. Sarah Miller, born 1823, died 1845. As she traced her fingers over the letters, a sudden gust of wind sent shivers down her spine, and she felt as though she were being watched. Suddenly, the whispers grew louder, swirling around her like a malevolent storm. Images flashed before her eyes. A young woman with fear in her eyes, fleeing through the woods. Dark figures lurking in the shadows, their eyes gleaming with malice. A sense of terror and despair that seemed to permeate the very air. With a sinking feeling in the pit of her stomach, Emily realized that she was not alone in the Whispering Woods. The spirits of the past were watching her, their restless souls bound to the forest for eternity, and she had trespassed upon their domain. Turning to leave, Emily felt a cold hand close around her wrist, stopping her in her tracks. She tried to pull away, but the grip only tightened, and she found herself unable to move. Panic rising within her, she called out into the darkness, hoping against hope that someone would hear her cries. But there was no one to save her, no one to hear her pleas. She was alone in the darkness, at the mercy of forces beyond her comprehension. And as the whispers grew louder, she knew that she would never escape the clutches of the Whispering Woods. Days turned into weeks, and still, Emily remained trapped in the forest, her cries for help falling on deaf ears. Her once vibrant spirit faded, consumed by the darkness that surrounded her, until she became little more than a ghost herself, haunting the woods for all eternity. And so the legend of the Whispering Woods grew, a cautionary tale whispered among the townsfolk of Willow Creek. For those who dared to venture into the forest would be forever lost to its dark embrace, their souls condemned to wander its twisted paths for all eternity. As the legend of Emily Parker's disappearance spread throughout Willow Creek, the once bustling town fell into a state of unease. Locals whispered of strange happenings in the Whispering Woods, claiming to have seen ghostly apparitions and heard disembodied voices echoing through the trees. Among those who took heed of the warnings was Alex Turner, a rugged outdoorsman with a fascination for the supernatural. Determined to unravel the mysteries of the Whispering Woods and uncover the truth behind Emily's disappearance, he set out into the forest, his senses alert for any sign of danger. Unlike Emily, Alex came prepared, armed with a compass, a flashlight, and a survival kit stocked with supplies. He moved cautiously through the dense undergrowth, his footsteps muffled by the thick carpet of fallen leaves that covered the forest floor. As he ventured deeper into the woods, Alex couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Shadows danced at the edge of his vision, and strange noises echoed through the trees, causing him to jump at every sound. But he pressed on, determined to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within the Whispering Woods. Hours passed, and still, Alex found no sign of Emily or any clue to her whereabouts. Frustration gnawed at him, but he refused to give up hope. Suddenly, a soft voice whispered in his ear, sending a shiver down his spine. Turning sharply, Alex scanned the surrounding trees, but there was no one in sight. The voice seemed to come from all around him, echoing through the forest like a mournful cry. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice trembling with fear. No answer came, only the eerie silence of the woods. Determined to find the source of the voice, Alex pressed on, his heart pounding in his chest. As he rounded a bend in the trail, Alex stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin hidden among the trees. The sight sent a chill down his spine, for he knew that he had stumbled upon the heart of the Whispering Woods. Approaching cautiously, Alex pushed open the creaking door and stepped inside. The air was thick with dust and decay, and the walls were lined with shelves filled with strange artifacts and tomes bound in leather. As he explored the cabin, Alex's gaze fell upon a faded photograph tucked away in a corner. It depicted a young woman with striking blue eyes and a smile that seemed to light up the room. And beside her stood a man with dark hair and a haunted expression, his eyes filled with sorrow. Realization dawned on Alex as he recognized the faces in the photograph. It was Emily Parker and her fiancé, James Anderson, the man she had been planning to marry before her disappearance. Fueled by determination, Alex searched the cabin for any clue that might lead him to Emily. And that's when he stumbled upon a hidden compartment beneath the floorboards, containing a journal filled with cryptic writings and drawings. As he flipped through the pages, Alex's heart sank at the horrors described within. The journal spoke of dark rituals performed in the depths of the Whispering Woods, of sacrifices made to appease the spirits that dwelled within. And at the center of it all was James Anderson, consumed by grief and driven to madness by his loss. Realizing the danger he was in, Alex knew that he had to leave the cabin and find a way out of the woods before it was too late. But as he turned to go, a figure stepped out of the shadows, blocking his path. It was James Anderson, his eyes filled with madness and his hands stained with blood. And behind him stood a horde of ghostly figures, their eyes glowing with malevolent intent. "You shouldn't have come here," James said, his voice filled with venom. "Now you'll never leave." With a sinking feeling in his gut, Alex realized that he was trapped, surrounded by the spirits of the Whispering Woods with no hope of escape. And as the darkness closed in around him, he knew that he would join Emily Parker in her eternal torment, lost to the woods forevermore.